And in other news, universities continue to remain at odds over how to end the so-called pro-Palestinian encampments popping up on campuses nationwide in the United States. At Columbia University, protesters took over a building and barricaded themselves inside. Meanwhile, a new poll shows that the majority of Americans do not share these students' activist views and actually support Israel and an operation in Rafah to eliminate Hamas. All the details in the following report. Students at Columbia University on Tuesday occupied Hamilton Hall, one of the buildings on the university's New York City campus. Videos show students with their heads and faces covered vandalizing the building, breaking windows, and barricading themselves inside, blocking the entrances with tables and chairs. In a statement, Columbia University called on all members of its community who can to avoid coming to campus to do so, as it said the safety of every single member of its community is paramount. This latest assault comes after the university began suspending students involved in a 2-week tent encampment set up on the main campus when they failed to disperse by a 2 p.m. local time deadline on Monday afternoon. Pictures posted by the local branch of Students for Justice in Palestine, one of the organizers of the encampments, showed printed copies of the university's terms that were rejected by the group with the words "Columbia will burn" and "Free Palestine" on them.
We will not be moved by these intimidation tactics. You can see outside you now that the students are mobilized. There's hundreds of them here today. They will not be moved. We demand divestment. We will not be moved unless by force.
Columbia University is just one of the main sites across the U.S. where so-called pro-Palestinian activists have set up encampments, demanding that their universities financially divest from Israel. Protests have also spread internationally to campuses in the UK, France, and Canada. Universities remain at odds over how to remove these encampments. While Columbia University attempted to negotiate with the students, other universities have taken a more hardline approach. At the University of Texas at Austin, dozens of protesters were arrested as police dismantled the student encampment, with Texas Governor Greg Abbott saying no encampments would be allowed in his state. And despite the claims of peaceful protests, there have been instances of violence, incitement, violent rhetoric, and anti-Semitism at many of the encampments across the country. As Jewish students say, they have been targeted and assaulted in some instances. Others also said they were prevented from physically entering their own campus. And while university students continue to protest for a ceasefire, a new poll released Monday by Harvard Capps Harris reveals that the majority of the American public overwhelmingly supports Israel and its efforts to continue the war and achieve victory. According to the new poll, 80% of American voters say they support Israel over Hamas, while 72% said they believe Israel should move forward with an operation in Rafah to eliminate Hamas and end the war.